You're a free agent. They can franchise tag you. What do you think is reasonable? Like, I know what you have to ask for the moon, the stars, and the sun. What's reasonable for you to sign long-term with the Skins?
I think my agent and the team will just, talk about what's reasonable. But more than anything, it's just you want to feel wanted. It's not always about the money. It's about what the money represents. And, if they tag me, like I said last year when I got tagged, I would feel wanted. They're not going to tag you if they don't want you back. So.
Plus, that's a huge nut in terms of the salary cap, right? I mean, and look, that means you could still negotiate a long-term deal.
Right.
But so many times guys take that as an affront, like it doesn't seem like, or at least outwardly, you've overreacted to the tag, whereas other players have.
No, my agent told me from day one that this goes back to when Joe Flacco was playing in the Super Bowl and he was going to be a free agent. My agent said, Kirk, the franchise tag is a quarterback's friend. I mean, it really does work in your favor. So we've taken that approach, and we'll continue to take that approach.
Kirk Cousins joining us in the Doug Gottlieb Show. Then there's this sense, and this is probably why they'll have to tag you at least initially, is hey, Kyle Shanahan's going to the Niners. They need a quarterback. They can just back up the Brinks truck, beep, 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 and all of a sudden go, tell me what it takes. We want our guy. He knows our system. We have a relationship. He's available. That has to be at least a partial thought in the back of your brain, no?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be in the back of my brain, because if I'm tagged, it really isn't even a discussion. I think I'm a free agent if March 1st I don't get tagged. If I get tagged March 1st, I never really was a free agent. So we'll see what the Redskins want to do. The ball's in their court, and I'll react accordingly. But, that possibility is certainly out there if a bunch of other circumstances, fall in line.
Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo got a chance to start a couple of games for the New England Patriots, and he's like the next Kirk Cousins, right? He's a guy who everybody's like, that looks, I don't know how good he's going to, that looks like a good starting quarterback. And so because you've had such success, the thought is that with you likely being off the market, likely to be tagged, that's just smart business from the Skins.
Yeah.
How should we, as fans, how can we look and say we know a backup who's because sometimes guys come in and they don't have a full scout on people, and we don't get a real sense for who they are.
Yep.
How should we know that he is in fact the guy?
Well, first of all, I just think that in this league, accuracy is so much more important than arm strength. You talk about arm strength all the time in the draft preparation, and yeah, you got to have somewhat of a strong arm, but if you can't throw with accuracy, you're not going to have a chance. And I think he can throw with a lot of accuracy, and he's got a quick release, and there's an athleticism, and he's been well coached, and he's watched one of the best, and he was productive when he played. So I think there's a lot of tools there that you feel really good about, and I don't know how he carries himself. I haven't watched that, but you can watch a guy and learn how he carries himself and see if he's a pro, and if he does that, I think all the signs point to feeling like he's going to play well down the road, and we'll see where he goes. But a lot of these teams, are so scared to give up draft picks for quarterbacks, but I feel like, if you draft a quarterback in the first round, it's still a 50-50 shot at if he's going to pan out.
No question.
You might as well trade one for a guy who's already, you feel like is closer on the development road to being where you want him to be.
When did you know? Like, you've always been a very confident person in your abilities, but outwardly confident and internal confidence, sometimes a little bit different. When did you know, hey, I've always thought I could play in this league, but now I know? Was there a game? Was there a moment? Was it you liked that game?
It was, yeah. When you look back at it, I always said coming away from it, time will tell. But I think now as I've had more time away from it, I look back and say, that was a game where we came back from a 24-0 deficit. We couldn't really run the ball in the second half because of the clock, and so we had to throw it. We had to find a way to win it with the quarterback and with the passing game, and we were able to come back. We made plays. We had a 2-minute drill at the end of the game. And I just came away saying, hey, if I can do that, if we can do that as an offense, then I think I can make it in this league. And that was certainly a defining moment. There have been others, but that's one that I'll always point to as a big moment.